to my channel. Today I have a very exciting addition to my review catalog, the 2021 release Imperial Tie Fighter. This model looks fantastic and has a very affordable price tag to boot. But does it live up to that expectation in the build? Let's find out. The LEGO Star Wars 75300 Imperial Tie Fighter is rated for ages 8+, has 432 pieces, and comes with 3 minifigures, which sits about where it should for the money. The box art is the traditionally white greebling outline on the top, bottom, and sides, with a well-detailed image of the model and some explosions in the background. The rear of the box shows the cockpit of the model open in a hangar with all 3 of the minifigs around it. The image of the Death Star 2 in the background on the front is a nice touch as well and adds some depth to the artwork. As I get back into building and making content centered around LEGO, I'm more and more excited for these re-released sets with updated builds hitting shelves so I don't have to overpay to add older models to my collection. The TIE Fighter is, after all, an iconic original trilogy starfighter, a must-have for any collector, a great piece for mocks, and even downsize, I feel like this build really captures it without breaking the bank. Speaking of the build, I found it to be very straightforward and packed with nice pieces that make this set great value for anyone looking to buy it just for the parts. The instructions were, as always, easy to follow, and thanks to the 8+ age rating, the building techniques were nothing fancy either, leaning on large plate pieces for most of the legwork, yet the illusion of complexity is still maintained when looking at the model in passing. Overall, a nice casual experience with a solid end result in terms of both appearance and integrity. Let's take a look at the minifigures. The set comes with a TIE Fighter pilot, an Imperial Stormtrooper, and an Annihilate Droid. The Annihilate Droid has silver printing on the torso and legs of an otherwise all-black body. I feel like some printing on the head would go a long way on this figure to bring its detail more in line with the other 2 figures in the set, but the colored wires around the waist, on the front and the back, add a bit of color. However, overall, I can't help but think it needed just a little bit more in that regard. Next up, the Imperial Stormtrooper. This figure looks great and, compared to previous models, shines as easily the best in my opinion. It has classic black and gray printing on an otherwise white body, and the head is bog standard, but the main change here is the helmet. It's dual molded and exceptionally well printed, being black on the inside and white on the outside, giving it a much more realistic look, but also means that due to the overhang on the front, it cannot be turned to the side while on the figure. Even so, the aesthetic is as close to perfect as we've ever gotten from an original LEGO set, and that counts for something in my book. Hopefully we'll see a battle pack with this version in the near future. Finally, we move to the TIE Fighter pilot, who also looks very sleek and has some great silver printing, not just on the torso and legs, but also these awesome silver streaks down the front of the helmet. It comes with a blaster pistol, another very well molded helmet on top of a bog standard Stormtrooper head. I can't stress enough, the extra printing on this helmet adds so much contrast to the jet black plastic and is honestly an example of what could have been on the Annihilate Droid. So, what about the model? Giving it a quick once-over, the wing connections are a bit blocky and the top hatch is backwards in the instructions, but the weight class the set sits in, retailing for $40, is important when considering the detail. The cockpit is pretty bare bones, for example, with a couple of what appear to be side sticks for the pilot to use. Some personal love and customizing might make this look better, though, if it really bothers you. Opening the top hatch doesn't really help, but it does make putting the pilot much easier. There are no studs to secure the pilot's legs in place, but once the hatch and canopy are closed, the pilot doesn't move around in my experience. The detailing around the sides of the canopy give a really nice rounded appearance, and use of small 3x3 black wing plates secure the gray Technic plates into the wings that connect it to the cockpit. Speaking of, the outside of the wings have a gray octagonal shape in the center, mirroring the inside of the wings. The wings also have a gray border made out of plates and ball joint pieces going 360 degrees around. They are connected to the cockpit by 3 Technic pins on the inside that can disconnect for ease of storage or transportation without having to completely disassemble the model. The rear of the cockpit is decorated with 2 red semi-transparent studs to indicate the twin ion engines for which the ship is named. It's also where the rear of the green spring-loaded shooter bolts extend, allowing them to be fired easily while swooshing the model. Just remember not to shoot them at anything living. Overall, this is a great choice for anyone looking for parts, minifigures, a display piece for a collection, or a gift for a friend or family member. Any Star Wars enthusiast is sure to love it, and it's nice and cheap. Honestly, what's not to love? Thank you so much for watching to the end. If you enjoy videos like this, please consider leaving a like, taking a look at my review playlist, and telling me what you think in the comments. Link to the music by Closed on Sunday is in the description. See you next time.